there are three important classifications: developing and developed and underdeveloped. That NEP syllabus just focusing on that skill development activities for the students, improving the economic system through the sector-wise development, which means inclusive development. The government had planned to improve the structure-wise economic growth through the 5-year plan. Contribution from the agriculture sector to the GDP is very low. What is the reason behind it? Namaste, my dear students. I am Shubha Hebbar, Faculty of Commerce Department, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Yes, my dear students, a warm welcome to this session. Yes, that new education policy 2021 has introduced that one of the important subject for you means for B.B.A first sem. Yes, that subject is PreReFORMS Indian Economy. Yes, my dear students, one who does not know the history, he cannot create history, because every past experience become that steps to future. Here we have to study that history of economy of our country. Yes, it is very necessary to study our country's past economic conditions. Yes, we have achieved more in many areas. And of course, India is world's 7th largest economy by nominal GDP, followed by France. Yes, first placed by USA, next China, Japan, Germany, UK, France, and next one India. Though we have a lot of economic problems, we have achieved. Yes, we are competing with economically strong countries, but still we are in developing, not yet get developed. Yes, did you think any reason behind it? Yes, of course, as a citizen of our country, we should think, yes, what were the reason behind that economic drawbacks? We are developing, not yet get developed. Yes, everybody should able to get notify that what are the obstacles, what are the major problems in the path of economic growth. Yes, my dear students, NEP has introduced one of the important subject which we have to discuss and which helps to improve the economics from basically. So that is that PreReFORMS Indian economy. Let us discuss what are the content inherent in your syllabus. Yes, you have 3 important units. The first unit, feature and problems of Indian economy. In the first unit, you have 3 chapters. So one is about the features of Indian economy. What are the different features of Indian economy and how it is differ from other countries? So that will be discussed in that first chapter, and second chapter just issues in agriculture in India. Yes, in this chapter we are going to discuss what are the problems of agriculture sector and what are the trends of agriculture products, and also just we are going to discuss about industrial and service sector contribution to the GDP also. And that second unit about that economic policies, which were the important policies taken by the government to improve the economic system. Yes, that planning. Yes, what are the different plannings to improve the economic system by improving the agriculture sector, by improving the industrial sector, also as well as in infrastructural development. The 5-year planning has introduced. And next, monetary policy in India. Yes, what are the different subject matter of monetary policy? And that subject matter of fiscal policy in India also we are going to discuss from the 6th chapter of 2nd unit. And the next one, external sectors and that nature of reforms in India. Yes, in this unit we are going to discuss India's foreign trade. In this chapter we are going to discuss volume, that direction and compositions of foreign trade, and then pre-reforms strategies, and the next one, planning commission. These are all discussing in that 3rd chapter. Let us discuss briefly one by one. Yes, that first chapter about the features of Indian economy, And in this chapter, in the first chapter, we are going to discuss India as a developing country. There are three important classifications: developing and developed and underdeveloped. Now it is considered as only the developed and developing countries. Yes, we are going to discuss India as a developing economy. What are the different features of Indian economy? Yes, improving in national income, improving in agriculture products, improving in industrial products, and dual economic system. Yes, one of the important features which is differ from others. So that is dual economic system, which means yes, we are adopting modern methodology as well as traditional methodology. Yes, that is considered as dual economic system. There are so many different features we can discuss in this topic. And next, yes, what are the demographic features of Indian economy? Here we are going to discuss trends of age composition, and then rural and urban area distribution, density of population, then mortality rates, infant mortality rates, life expectancy rates. So these are all different content which belongs to demographic features. And next one, that Human Development Index. What are the position of India according to Human Development Index 131st position? Yes, what do you mean by Human Development Index and how to calculate the Human Development Index? What are the indicators of Human Development Index? We are going to discuss in this content. Next, as usual, the main features of Indian economy, so that is poverty, that issues of poverty, what are the problems of poverty and how to eradicate the poverty, which you have learnt in first PUC. Okay, so that's the problems of poverty, how to eradicate the poverty, meaning of poverty, and then unemployment and income inequality, just unequal distributions of income. So these are all main content which we have to discuss in this chapter. So coming to second chapter, this is on issues in agriculture system in India. Yes, what are the problems of agriculture sector? That more than half of the total population depends on agriculture sector, but contribution from the agriculture sector to the GDP is very low. What is the reason behind it? So that will be discussed in this chapter. Next, that what do you mean by land reforms? That tiller become owner. So that land reforms, that we have adopted green revolution, that remarkable improvement in food grain productions. Yes, the government had introduced green revolution in 1960, just remarkable improvement in food grain production for achieving the self-sufficiency in food grain production. Yes, that agriculture marketing. What is agriculture marketing? And then problems of agriculture marketing and how to solve that problems by the government. So that will be discussed. And also we are going to discuss that agricultural price policies. Yes, and one more chapter in this unit. So that is industrial and service sectors. Yes, in this chapter, we are going to discuss trends of industrial sector and also as well as service sectors. Contribution by the service sector and the industrial sectors. And that what are the industrial policies? Yes, in 1956, that industrial resolution policy has introduced. And this policy just focusing on regional equality and promoting the industry in backward regions. So that industrial developments and then yes, MSM, micro, small and medium enterprises, just focusing on development of Khadi Udyoga or just developing of that cottage industries. And next, performance of that public sector in India. What are the trends? What are the participation of public sectors in India? Yes, particularly in this topic, we are going to discuss the disinvestment. So what are the private sector participation? Yes, what are the role of public sector enterprises and disinvestment? And the another one important content, private sector participations. So these are all we'll discuss in this content. And the next one, that is unit 2 in economic policies. So what are the different policies introduced by the government to improve the economic system, the growth of the economic system? Yes, the first, planning. It starts from planning. Chapter 4, planning. So 5-year plan, 1-year plan are different plans have introduced by the government to improve the economic system. Yes, just we have adopted mixed economic system which consists or the coexistence of socialist and capitalist economy. Yes, Bombay Plan, Gandhian model and Nehru and Mahalanobis model. These are all three important model which introduced before independent India. Yes, that Bombay Plan has introduced in 1944. Just it was focusing on improving the industrial sector development. Yes, and Gandhian model, it was focusing on just improving the rural sectors. Yes, next Nehru and Mahalanobis model. So this is also one of the important model which framed before independent. So this model focusing on that inclusive development of the economy of our country, which means that sector-wise development. And next, objectives and achievements of economic planning before 1991. And next, chapter 5, that monetary policy in India. Yes, in this chapter, we are going to discuss what are the instruments of monetary policy. So that instrument of monetary policy which are framed by RBI, then qualitative measures and quantitative measures, that cash reserve ratio, statutory liquidity ratios and open market operations. So there are so many instruments to control the money supply in the economy. And next, yes, that another one important, very interesting topic, so that is black money. Yes, then we are going to discuss the magnitude and impact of black money. Yes, one of the important obstacles, one of the notified problems, so that is black money. Yes, in this chapter, we are going to discuss what do you mean by black money, yes, then magnitudes and impacts and trends of black money. Just we can glance, yes, what we have trends of black money since that 1970s. Okay, so these are all different chapters, and one more chapters belongs to this unit, so that is fiscal policy. Yes, in this chapter, we are going to discuss tax revenues, what are the different types, direct tax and indirect taxes, and also we are going to discuss that goods and service tax, GSTs. And next, public expenditure, what are the trends of public expenditure? And next, budgetary deficits, that means expenditure is more than revenues, so that's considered as deficit budget. And next, fiscal reforms. Yes, in this system we are going to discuss the tax reforms and then expenditure reforms. And next, public debt management, how the government will manage the public debt, and though it is not possible to manage the expenditure by its revenues. This is one of the important content which we have to discuss. And next, center-state finance relations before 1991. Yes, next, the last unit, third unit, that is that external sector and nature of reforms in India. That's India's foreign trade, salient features of foreign trade, and then volume, composition and directions of trade. Volume, which means that volume of goods and services which we are going to export and imports of goods and services. Then compositions, yes, what are the different compositions? In the exported items, the first placed by that capital goods, and second one raw materials, and next consumer goods. So that's compositions, trends of compositions, and then directions of foreign trades. So we have open economy and we are performing with the different nations of the world. Yes, and directions of trade, which means we were performing the trade with South Asian countries, then UK, then Germany and some other European countries. Yes, balance of payments, it's a statement of imported and exported goods and services. And then import, substitute and that protections. Yes, in this chapter we are going to discuss tariffs, quotas, that taxes on imported and exported items, and the quantitative restrictions on imported and exported items. So that tariffs, import substitutions, quotas and protection we are going to discuss. Yes, in the chapter 8, that pre-reforms strategies. What are the different strategies made by the government to improve the economic conditions? Yes, stabilization strategies and tax policies and tariffs policies. And yes, what are the different types of tariffs and what is the impacts? And then exchange rate dynamics. So these are all belongs to this chapter we are going to discuss. And next last chapter, that is Planning Commission, which introduced during the period of 1950s, and this planning just framed the different plans and made them to implement through the different sectors. By improving the agriculture sector, by improving the industrial sector and terrestrial sectors, just it focusing on improving the economic system through the sector-wise development, which means inclusive development. And organizations and objectives of Planning Commission, and what were the major functions performed by planning commissions, that we are going to discuss in the last chapter. Yes, my dear students, these are all important contents inherent in your syllabus, which we have to discuss. Yes, move forward to what are the internal and external marks allotment. Yes, you have two internals. So internal marks will be 40 and external marks will be 60, total 100. Two internals, yes, first internals for 30 marks, okay, afterwards we will make it for 20, and second internals, it is for 2 units, okay, first unit for first test and second and third unit for second test. The second test also for 30 marks, and afterwards we will make it for 20, and then the final marks will be awarded on that average of 2 internals. And you are going to write SEM exam for 60 marks. Yes, let us see that question paper pattern. Yes, 2 marks questions 5, and you have 10 marks questions 2, and you have 15 marks question 2. Yes, that 2 mark question 10, 20, 30, it will be for 60 marks. It is very easiest patterns of question paper. If you just tried, you can get more marks, and if you tried well, you can get out of out. Okay, yes. Next, the skill development activities which belongs to this subject. That NEP syllabus just focusing on that skill development activities for the students. Yes, after studying this syllabus, just you have to identify that different economic problems and their causes. So this is the main objectives of this syllabus. And then assignment on that success and failure of India's planning. Yes, the government had planned to improve the structure-wise economic growth through the 5-year plan. Did the government reach the goal? So that we have to discuss. And next, that calculation of BOP and evaluating trade policies. These skill development activities regarding that foreign trade system. Okay, and what are the learning outcomes? Why we have to study? After studying the syllabus, we are able to analyze the economic system of our country. Yes, that after studying this syllabus, just we are able to trace the evolution of Indian economy. What was the condition and what is the condition? We can compare, and we have achieved, but still we are developing. What was the reason? And for getting the developed position, what we have to do? That we can analyze. Identify the structural features and constraints of Indian economy. What are the different features made differ from the features of other country? And then evaluate the planning models and strategies adopted by India. And we can analyze the sectoral specific problems and contribution towards that overall economic growth. Yes, and also we can review the various economic policies adopted by Indian government to improve the economic system. Yes, my dear students, that our economic system ruined under the British colonial rule. We had a lot of economic problems to getting a path to success. Yes, we were suffering from that low GDP rate, that high unemployment rate, then vicious circle of poverty, and then illiteracy problems. And there was a major differences between sex ratios. We have physically independent but economically dependent. These are all main reasons we were in a position we could not create the job opportunities. And agriculture sector was considered as primary sector, and the contribution by the agriculture sector was very low, but more than half of the total population depends on agriculture sector. Yes, we were not able to adopting the open economic policies, so we were not competitive enough. These are all so many problems which consider as obstacles in the path of economic development. So these are all very serious problems which consider as obstacles in the path of economic development. As a citizen of our country, we should know about it. My dear students, that one of the important intention behind the study of this syllabus is to know the economic system, to know the past economic system of our country as a citizen. Yes, my dear students, I mean the conclusion parts. Yes, I hope you are getting the intention to study this syllabus. And what are the content we are going to discuss? One of the important content which we have to study, which we have to discuss as a student. Yes, I'm taking this time to say thanks to you all for joining me in this session, and also you are a part of this session. Thank you once again.